welcome to the video. My name is Ruben. I use he, they pronouns. This was my April vlog. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. One of the major things that I work on in this vlog is actually from March, but we're just gonna let that one slide. So not this last full moon, but the last full moon was the worm moon, as called here in the United States. And I made a little quilt for it. I made a little worm quilt, and it's exciting and it's cute, and we're gonna go through the making of it for this video. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope you follow along and you stick to the end to see the final reveal. Let's go. Hello, it's VoiceOver Ruben. I'm here to kind of talk you through my process while I make this quilt on screen. We start out by simply picking out the fabrics that we want
to use, cutting them down to a reasonable size, and starting to match some edges, not all. Start with one row, move things around, etc. A lot of this process has to do with experimentation and just kind of seeing what works. Don't be afraid to cut a piece of fabric. Honestly, that's the best advice I can give you because, you could always use it in a different quilt if this one doesn't quite work. Here you can see I'm figuring out which direction these stripes are going to go. And then just kind of moving things around, cutting things out. I like to keep all my pieces different sizes roughly. Have some large ones, have some medium ones, and have some smaller ones. Some that are longer, some that are wider, some that are shorter, and some that are thinner. It helps create some variety in the piece, in my opinion. The best thing you can do for a quilt is check and see if it would work in a different way. You get ideas. Here I'm cutting out a piece of lace to layer over a lighter blue that is a bit too bright for the rest of the fabrics that I chose, so we're creating some depth with that. Yeah, and then we just continue cutting, snipping, fitting, flipping, moving, and adjusting. Eventually, we get to a semi-reasonable size, knowing, of course, that everything is going to be losing 1/4 of an inch on either side, and then we put it together. So, now that I've basted on the worm, I'm going in and cutting inside of the basting stitches through the background fabric to reveal the worm that is underneath. These basting stitches will eventually be removed as I will be reverse applique the sides into the shape that I want. This was a long process and very scary to cut into your backing fabric like this, I'll admit it. But here we're just opening it up a little bit, trying to give myself some room in which to applique the piece down. So how we do this, we put the needle through, the back of the fabric all the way through, and then you bring it up. Then you go back down into the fabric and you come up, just grabbing a small, slight little thread from the edge of the fabric that you folded down, and that's why it's called needle turn quilting. It's not a hard technique, it's very fiddly and finicky and takes a lot of practice. I'd recommend looking up some tutorials if you'd like. It's a very fun process, I really like it. However, you do need a thimble, which I use here but didn't end up using for very long. And it's slow, but it works. You trim the fabric down some. You want about 1/4 inch or more to turn under. Sorry, this isn't supposed to be a tutorial. I'm not very good at explaining this step. My apologies. I'll link a tutorial in the description for those interested. But yeah, that's basically it. I go around the worm, mapping out its shape gradually as I go, 1 stitch at a time. And slowly that comes together to form the worm. Here you can see the back that I'm stitching down to. And this is the first edge of our worm. It's not the cleanest. I did need to practice a little bit before I got into the groove of it. Just fine. I'm not pressed. It is what it is, and I love the wonkiness. So we're just going to continue doing this stitch all the way around until it's done. And that's it. You just pull the needle through to the back, tie it off, snip, and the applique's done. I really like how it looks. It was made by me, so it looks like it was made with human hands. And that's a good thing. That's something I like, and I want to encourage in my piece. So now we're moving on to the star, where we perform the same stitch, just in a harder, smaller, more finicky area. I don't know why I decided to do the stars in reverse applique also, but I did. You know, looking back, I probably should have just cut the stars out and appliqued them down instead of doing the reverse applique. I think it works out. It looks fine. Happy with it. And I'll see you back here when I finish the final piece at the end of the video. See you then.
Right over there, around the tree, and the street light is on.
Max eclipse in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's like a fast motion sensor. Let's go beat traffic. Come on.
And they're quiet. They went quiet.
Listen. Ready? Listen. They quieted down just like that.
This is my pothos. Her name is Peggy. I just dusted her and she wasn't doing so well. A little thinner than the last time I checked in on her, but she's got some beautiful like leaves and vines coming down. I love her like so much. She's my first plant. The one that got me into plants actually, because of the confidence that she gave me to try this out. And like look at that beautiful leaf. Oh, so gorgeous. She's just so pretty, and she hasn't been doing well since we moved here. And I think it's because where I had her, it didn't get enough sun. So I pulled her out, I cleaned her off of all of her yellow leaves, and I gave her a good dusting and a good water, and now stuck her in front of the sun, and look at how much happier she is. Oh my gosh. Like, that's so good. I'm so happy for her. Doesn't she just look gorgeous? Oh my god. Not me fawning over my beautiful Peggy.